Hi, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing some predictions for The Walking Dead Season 4 and talking about The Walking Dead Season 4 A Look Ahead promo. Right, so at this point, really, all the footage we have for The Walking Dead Season 4, I mean, we don't have any actual, stills or filming images or anything like that in terms of a trailer, promo, sneak peek, anything like that that we usually, have before each episode of The Walking Dead. For Season 4, what they've done is they've gone ahead and they've created what they call like a look ahead promo, which is basically, I'll put a link in the description for it. I think it's about 6 minutes long, and it essentially goes through with each of the actors, Robert Kirkman, some of the producers, Galen Hurd, and a couple others that I haven't seen before. And they basically talk about where the show is headed next season, Season 4, what we can kind of expect without ruining anything or giving any kind of details about plot. Robert Kirkman in the promo does kind of, however, give at least one little sort of possible plot line that they were going to follow, which is that now that Rick and the group have added on all these extra survivors from the Woodbury community, and a lot of them, their group has become really big. So a sense of community is going to be big. But a big problem they're going to run into is that they're going to need a lot of resources to feed and, house, clothe all of those people. A lot of those people in a zombie apocalypse can't really carry their own weight. I mean, and what I mean by that is that, if they're elderly or whatever, they could be useful for around the community, maybe doing jobs within the prison, like cleaning up and doing, I don't know, just cleaning and organizing and helping with stuff around the prison. But are you really going to get them to go on runs with you? Are you really going to get them to, go out and kill walkers outside the prison at the gates and stuff like that, clear them out? I mean, maybe for building and stuff like that, it could be useful for them building defenses and things of that nature. But yeah, definitely it's going to be odd to see where a lot of those people will have a place in the group. They're going to need something to do. So what Rick is going to actually have them do will be kind of interesting to see, what they decide, even though, at this point he is still kind of like the leader, but, it's not supposed to be Rick-tatorship. It's supposed to be a democracy. So, we'll probably see that storyline kind of come into play more too as well with, Rick and Tyrese maybe butting heads because Rick is kind of the leader of, the prison group. Well, of course he is. But Tyrese is kind of like the leader after the governor leaves of the Woodbury people, or at least he's going to feel responsible for these people now that the governor's gone and what he did, that Tyrese made the decision to join with Rick. So he's going to feel responsible for those people. So I can see the two of them clashing heads quite a bit, and some of the chapters from the comic book series where they actually go fist to fist and fight. I think that would be kind of an interesting storyline for an episode. Kind of have it be something like 18 Miles Out or something like that from Season 2, if you guys remember that episode with Shane and Rick. Something similar to that. Now, I do like Tyrese as a character. I think he's great because he is kind-hearted. He stands up for what he believes in. He's not afraid to tell the governor, we're not going. He's not afraid to say, you can't be feeding people the walkers, all these different things. He'll stand up for the people and for even survivors in other communities. So he's just a good person in that way. So for him and Rick to kind of clash, they're both good guys in that manner. Rick may actually see things from like a darker point of view than Tyrese may. Because of what he's been through, and Tyrese not having been through the same thing with fighting other survivors and things of that nature. So that'll be fun to see what happens between the two of them, whether or not they decide to do that. I think they will, as well as, the whole food resource problem should be really interesting too, that Robert Kirkman just touches on for a quick second in his interview in the a look ahead promo, because it is going to be a big hassle to feed all those people. And just see, what that all entails and everything. Also, it kind of seems like it's going to be like kind of like a new Alexandria, sort of, if you know what I mean by that, like from the comic book series, where instead of Rick leaving with the group and then eventually starting this Alexandria group, or joining it, really, not starting it, joining it and then taking it over time. In this, it's kind of like at the prison, he's got a group of kind of similar size to that. So that's interesting too, that it's going to diverge from the comic book series so much, and we could start seeing some of those plot lines from later on starting to come in too, because of the fact that you have a whole community now for him to look after. They also touch on that possibly there may be some more surviving groups out there. Well, there will be. They've opened up the possibility to it now, and we're going to start seeing a lot more of that, which I think is very interesting as well. Because you have such a huge group on Rick's side now, you know, zombies and walkers, I mean, you know, they'll probably be a threat, and there'll be a lot of walker deaths probably with the other people that we don't know and stuff like that, because elderly people are obviously going to have a hard time defending themselves against walkers. That's for sure. But at the same time, we're going to probably be seeing a lot more groups, not just the governor, but maybe they have the governor join with another group, and then have another group come in that we don't know anything about, like a totally new group, or like a Fear the Hunters type group or something like that, or have Abraham come in or something like that and join the fray in the show. So it should be an awesome season. I talked a little bit about Scott M. Gimple, who's going to be the new showrunner for the series, and some of the episodes that he's done, and he's going to be running the whole thing next season. So I think that's going to be really great, since he's done some of the best episodes we've had, in my opinion, the best episodes of The Walking Dead so far, because he did Clear, he did Save the Last One. I think he did pretty much Dead already. At least he wrote it. I'm not sure if he directed it, but he was involved with it. So he's done a lot of the best episodes we've had. So Season 4 should actually probably be even better than Season 3, since he's going to be, you know, the front runner for it, and we're going to be dealing with some different ideas here. So it should be interesting. We should have a lot more characters in the show now to have around, so a lot more things could be happening. Possibly maybe a character from Woodbury Group could be crazy, kind of pick up on the Thomas storyline from the comic book series. I could definitely see that. Maybe have one of them, you know, turn and start killing people within the community, and then have Tyrese and Rick try to figure out who it is. Obviously, the governor, Dave Morrissey, says he's not going to leave Rick alone. That's for sure. He's not going to just leave the show. He's going to be a series regular, so he'll be back with Martinez and Shumpert. I believe that's his name. It is Shumpert. Just had to check that. But thank you, people, for letting me know that as well. And, you know, obviously the governor's going to be back as a season regular, so he's going to be adding people to his group for sure to become a threat again for Rick's group, and, you know, going to start attacking them probably and doing all that kind of stuff. But I think that the governor won't make it out of Season 4. Plus, we have 16 episodes, and most of the storyline from the Walking Dead comic book series for the governor has already been used up. You know, a lot of the main character deaths that happen in the comic book series have already happened in the TV series. You know, you had the big Lori death. You had, well, Andrea death in this case. Dale's been dead forever. You know, you've got all these different character deaths. So Season 4, I would think the governor is probably going to pick off a few more. Maybe we're looking at Herschel. You know, Beth might fill Sophia's role, so she might be around. And maybe a lot of other Woodbury characters for sure are fodder. But definitely probably a couple characters from Rick's group, maybe Carol. See what happens with that. But I could definitely see the two of them dying in Season 4 in a governor attack or something of that sort. So it should be a lot of fun. Plus, I don't think... sorry, my voice early. I don't think that the governor is going to be the only villain. I think they're going to add in another one too, because we've already had a season with the governor as the antagonist, and you know it'll be fun to see him come back again as you know, as a villain. But I think they're going to want to add in another villain to fill out the season, because or another group that Rick's group is going to be at war with and doesn't get along with, because you have 16 episodes. So as such, you know, you're not going to be able to spread the governor's storyline, I don't think, all the way through those 16 by himself. You're going to have lots of other new characters either join with him, become interesting, or have another group come in. And I'd like to see another group. So that should be pretty good. But I imagine a lot of the episodes will be like Rick's group going out on runs to get food, because again, there's going to be a time skip for the winter. There kind of has to be, I would think. And then after that, you know, of course, they're going to be like right out of food and resources. So they're going to have to go and find stuff really quickly, because they have, what is it, like around probably close to 50 people now in the group or more. So that'll be interesting to see. I think that's about it for what I wanted to say for my plot predictions. Obviously, Carl becoming more of a, they also touch on that in the a look ahead preview. Carl becoming more of a badass and starting to disagree with Rick and his approach to things, blaming him for the death of his mother, and Merle as well, too, because Carl does know him as well. And other characters, too, probably. throughout the series and all that. So I think Carl's going to become even more colder, and I think he's just going to be like a freaking serial killer, man. If something needs being done, if somebody from Woodbury's dangerous or something, Carl will be able to put them down, whereas a lot of other characters might not be able to. He's real cold like that. So his storyline will be interesting too as well. Daryl obviously will still be around. I don't think they're going to kill Daryl off anytime soon. I personally don't think Daryl's become repetitive or anything that Norman Reedus does has become repetitive at all. Michonne the same. I think they're both going to be around and will be fun to have because you need characters like that to be able to go out and get food and get supplies and do things of that nature. So in terms of overall plot, I mean, I could see maybe Fear the Hunter storyline from the comic books coming in, Abraham and his group, the governor still being there, and having all this happening at once with multiple storylines at different spots, sort of like Game of Thrones type style, but maybe not quite as many because you don't want to have too many either, which Game of Thrones sometimes does that a lot of the time, actually. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of different things happening at once, different groups, different storylines. Should be a great season. Really excited for it, obviously. And of course, if you guys see anything new come out, let me know about it. I'll review it. I'll talk about it. Give some predictions about it, some thoughts about it. And I am starting to run out of video topics, video ideas. So please submit your ideas to me, and if they're good and I can talk about them, I can do videos about them, I will do. So in terms of the overall plot of Season 4, I'm thinking the governor, another villain, trouble with resources, development for Carl, Tyrese, his sister, Rick, a few characters going to die off, obviously, and should be a full action-packed, great season. Can't wait to see the trailer and everything like it. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll call it now because this is getting a little bit long. Let me know what you guys think about the look-ahead preview, promo, trailer type thing. What you think is going to happen in Season 4, any possible plot lines, things of that nature. Let's talk about it in the comments. And also, video suggestions, please send them to me. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.